Hello, my name is Soraya Mia and you're watching AWANI Review. Now, Malaysia's e-commerce income has crossed 566.4 billion ringgit in the first half of 2022. That's a 40.4% increase from the period of the year before, which is 2021. And Malaysia's number of e-commerce users in 2020 is 25.6 million, and this number is projected to grow to 29.7 million by 2027. So how do we actually accelerate the digital transformation of the small and medium enterprises in the country? On the show today, we have Sharliza Muhammad Haris, who is the head of SME Business Solution at Unifi Business, as well as Ashran Datuk Ghazi, who is the CEO of Dattel Asia Group. Thank you so much for joining us on AWANI Review today. It's a pleasure speaking with you.
Yeah.
Now let's just start with Sharliza.
Right.
You are in Unifi Business, right? So how is Unifi Business actually leading the digital transformation of SMEs in the country?
All right, okay. Thank you so much. Okay, SMEs in Malaysia are the powerhouses of the national economic growth. If you can see that SMEs contribute to around 38% or more than 500 billion ringgit in terms of the GDP. And with 1.15 million of SMEs in Malaysia, they form around 97.2% of the overall number of business establishments in Malaysia, and they employ around 70% of the country's workforce. So when COVID-19 hit the nation in 2020, majority of the SMEs were not able to survive, and some had problems in their working capital, while some had challenges in terms of driving new sales and so on. And there's around 37 of SMEs out there were not able to weather the storm and had to close down. So in Unifi Business, we as a preferred digital platform for 400,000 SMEs in Malaysia, we are committed to support them in driving the digital transformation so that they would be able to survive the challenges pre and also not pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, pre-pandemic, and also to make sure that they would have business continuity with our solutions, our premium support, and at the same time having the largest business network community, which is our Unifi Business Club.
Right, maybe you can explain further why it's important for especially the micro, small and medium enterprises in the country to actually transform digitally.
All right. Okay. Digitalization is very important for SMEs out there, and actually not only for SMEs but for all businesses, because before pandemic, most of SMEs operates in a brick and mortar shop and brick and mortar concept, and suffered the most because of the prolonged movement control order and disruption of supply chain. So the purchases of products and so on were not able to be done, and digital resilience is very important so that SMEs can survive and thrive beyond the years and over the next few years. And it means that they must invest in the right infrastructure and also innovation so that they can help to produce better quality products, at the same time improve efficiency, drive better sales performance, and improve the customer experience through the right channels. And for example, one of our customers in Kelantan adopted digital marketing to promote her business, and that has helped her to improve the business profit to more than 40%. Yeah, so that really helps in terms of driving the sales performance and so on.
That's definitely not a surprise, because we understand that many businesses are actually transforming and actually gaining from this digital transformation or digital marketing. But when we talk about digitalization, of course there's the digital skills, one part, but there's also the adoption of technologies. Like there are many different technologies that are on the rise now. We talk about AI, we talk about programming and whatnot. So what do you think the challenges are for businesses to adopt these technologies?
Yeah, okay. We talked to quite a lot of SMEs through our empathy session. So when we had a chat with them, some of the challenges that they face can be categorized into 3 key areas. The first one would be in terms of their mindset. So they're unable to realize the benefits of technology in driving their business growth And the second one is the skill set, where they lack the digital skill set. If you see the SMEs out there, they are the ones that drives the business. So they are, especially for micro SMEs, they are the CEO of the company, the CFO. So they are the ones who run the operation and so on. So they do not have enough time to gain more knowledge on digital. So they lack the skill set itself, and also they lack the tool set where the support in terms of driving the digital solution, including financial support and so on. So these are the three key challenges that the SMEs face in terms of driving digital transformation to grow their business.
Right. Now, when you talk about challenges, of course, there are ways to, solve this. So how can we actually support SMEs in Malaysia? Maybe Ashran, you can take this question.
Naturally, if I take from where Shah was sharing just now, the first hurdle is about breaking their mindsets or unlocking whatever mental block or mindsets that they have that kind of stops them from taking that first step into that digital journey. And for the most of the SMEs that we've been speaking to, essentially, it is about bringing that language to something that they are familiar with, right? To not take the jargons of the tech world to the SMEs. And with the SMEs, and even through the sessions, empathy sessions that Shah was talking about, the key driving force for them is always about sales. So in any digital transformation exercise, if I were to just cluster them together, there's the operational side of things, and there is the market-facing or customer-facing side of things, right? Both sides has many parts of digital elements that comes into play. But when you're talking to SMEs, if you want to get them to get adoption first, to take that first step,
has to be sales.
You just got to sell sales.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely agree.
You just got to sell sales. You tell them that, you know what, you can save time for doing this and so forth. If I can save time, but if I cannot get sales, what am I going to do with the time also? So it's always that. And the minute you unlock that perspective and they're able to experience it, that's important. Experience it. But again, the other hurdle that, like Shah was saying just now, and you mentioned just now also regards to skill sets, right? Yes, I've got awareness that I need it, right? Now I go out and look for it. Okay, I discovered something that I can possibly use. Either I got no time, or I got no time to do it myself, or no time to go and learn to be able to do it, right? It's nice to say that, let's go and train people, but from a more practical lens, even as an entrepreneur myself, what I tell a lot of SMEs out there is, make sure at the very least, if you're going to a training program even, it is to allow you to have a deeper understanding, right? It is very important. So whether it's digital marketing or whatever it is, you don't have to be an expert in it. But if you understand the fundamentals, then you can have better conversations with the service provider. You can actually be a little bit more strategic. Because the key value of any SMEs out there is them knowing their business well, right? Then other supporting ecosystem around your business is enabling different parts of your business to do well. And in terms of support, there are many out there, and I'm sure Shah can share in terms of even the support that Unifi Business puts across to the SMEs. But the SMEs out there, if you guys have not taken that digital path yet, don't be overwhelmed by even the word digital. Because I tend to get that sense sometimes when we speak to entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? You say digital, and in the premise of trying to impress them, you also scare them at the same time. Right?
That's true.
So there is a need to kind of, not say downplay it, but communicate in the most layman of things. Relate back to the traditional side of things, because business fundamentals with digital does not change. You cannot change business fundamentals, right? When you go online, from a, say, front-end perspective, it's just another distribution channel. And if you start framing that to SMEs, then it starts, hey, actually, last time I got a shop, I used to sell via a distributor, I used to sell via other resellers for me. This is just another channel for me to sell. Whether it's my own virtual shop, or I park myself into other types of marketplaces, which is no different than your product being in some hypermarkets and so forth. So that relationship, to some extent, has got to be in place, because my dad is a curious person, so he asks me sometimes these questions, right? And when I have to explain to him, to me, it's no different than trying to explain to any SMEs.
Yep.
Relate back to what they have seen before. These are just tools that helps them. And as we spoke just now, you talk about sale, can sell on. And inshallah, then people will get that on board. And once they got extra capital a little bit because of sale, then they can look at how do I increase my operational efficiency. Because like any business, you want to reduce your cost. And if you can do a lot of the operations with just a few manpower, because a lot of things are automated, then you are saving cost. But again, like we spoke, if you cannot make money, then there's not use in terms of saving costs. Go out, make money first, right? Then look at plowing back into the business to increase that efficiency.
When we talk about the more conventional businesses or business owners that are perhaps they are aware of this benefit of digitalization and the transformation, but then how can we actually get them to perhaps be competitive with the more tech savvy generation, the younger generation, or can they compete, or would it just be work together with them? What do you have to say about this?
Interesting questions, right? So I would classify that into two baskets, right? Basket number one, from the traditional side of business that you're talking about, it depends on the entrepreneur on how far they want to push the envelope. It still boils down to about mindset, about creativity of how you want to change the business. So if an entrepreneur's ambition, and again, we've got to be realistic here, not everybody has the highest of ambition. Sometimes people run business to just make a livelihood and so forth, right? So for those groups, right, leverage on existing technologies, focus on innovation on your product side of things, right? And make the best product that you can think of from a core product perspective. But to your question with regards to, the more tech-savvy guys that are coming up disrupting certain sectors itself, naturally, you've got to be aware, even from the first block just now, because there are, and the tech-savvy crowd, that's actually disrupting the business model of certain sectors. The service delivery and experience of how things are done. And so there's a balancing act that needs to be in place with regards to that. Of course, the more we have that is able to change, not just leverage, yes, you're leveraging on tech, but you're actually changing the service delivery. To me, it's really about the service delivery change and the business model change that would allow sustainability. And again, we had an earlier chat also just now. As an entrepreneur, you do not have to be technical from a technology lens, right? You just have to have clarity of vision, right? And an imagination, if anything. And be realistic enough that you may not have all the answers. But if you can kind of imagine a world that certain things change, the path that you take will slowly kind of unravel itself. People that you meet will suddenly connect things and kind of accelerate things across. I mean, if you take from a more personal experience, right? If you're looking at buying a particular car, suddenly you see on the road that car popping around everywhere, right?
The law of attraction.
A lot of, correct, right? Same thing with regards to business, right? If you've got that clarity of vision, suddenly you bump, as you move and you work towards that goal, even though you don't have all the answers yet, you start seeing partners that's coming into fold. I mean, even for us, and Unifi is a perfect name. I've got my own game plan. Unifi has got their own game plan. And both organizations have their own vision. But because you got that, and then when you connect, you're like, hey, you know what? There's a synergistic effect that can happen that kind of accelerates whatever that we want to do. So it applies across, different aspects of business. And I do hope I can address your question and not cut
Yeah, that's actually a very interesting point. Now, Sharliza, maybe you can tell us how Unifi Business can address some of the challenges that both of you have mentioned previously.
Yeah, okay. In terms of the challenges that SMEs face, when we talk to them, one of the key things that they would like to have is a comprehensive solution. But the solution must be something which is, like Ash mentioned just now, has to be very simple. Because some of them are very scared of the word, even the word digital, right?
Yeah.
So when you say something very comprehensive, very complex or sophisticated, it scares them. So it has to be very simple, easy for them to use, and at the right price. So when we design solutions for them, we co-create. We work together through design thinking process, where we do empathy sessions, we test the prototype with them and see whether this is something that they really like and really makes sense to drive their business growth. So whatever solutions that we create is always about along the lines of driving business growth, and especially in driving sales. That will be something that's very important for them. Very important. Because without sales, they will not think about other things, like even operational improvement and so on will be the second part of it. But the first part in their business is about driving sales. So that's one thing. It's about comprehensive solution that helps to drive business growth. And the second one is about having differentiated support. Because the SMEs, they are very busy, and at the same time, they may not have the time to come to see us and so on. So that's where we have to be there for them. So that's where we have around 600 over nationwide support, localized support, and around 100 over which are ICDL certified. So which is internationally. ICDL means that International Certification of Digital Literacy. So we train our people so that they would be able to understand digital transformation and can translate that into helping the SMEs out there. And on top of that, we have around 84 SME corners nationwide. We have the SME corners in our Unifi stores, and the Unifi stores are located not only around the city areas, but we also have it in rural areas, for
Pretty
example.
Much everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere, right? So SMEs can just go and pop in any of the Unifi stores, and we are there to help them. And we have our SME consultants in all of the Unifi stores to help them. And that's one. And we also have a dedicated lane for SMEs. So we have established quite a number of things to help them in terms of the support. And the third one is about the community itself, because we understand that SMEs, they need to create a community so that they can grow their business better. For example, like having a synergistic effect of partnership, right? Like Ash mentioned just now. So they need to have the right partners to drive their business. For example, like financial partners, tools and so on. And at the same time, having the right knowledge in the single hub, so they don't have to go everywhere to find the information and so on. So that's where we have our Unified Business Club to help the SMEs out there. So these are the three things that we have co-created together with the SMEs to help them in terms of driving digital transformation for their business. Yeah.
So of course, the very important part is digital marketing solutions that Unified Business can offer. But can you explain more what is digital marketing solutions and why SMEs actually need it?
All right, okay. So digital marketing is something that is very useful to help the SMEs out there drive their business growth. For example, like SMEs, some of them, they say that, hey, I have gone digital. I have set up an FB account. I have set up an Instagram page, for example, for their business. Or I have set up a TikTok account and so on. But having a single FB page or IG page or TikTok page, for example, may not further market the product, because maybe those who follow them will be their friends and family. So they do not, it doesn't go to the larger extent of the market. So digital marketing helps to expand the market possibilities for them that would help them to get more impressions. So impressions like number of people who will be able to view their products and solutions in the social media pages that they have, for example. And also they will be able to target customers in a better way. And by having a proper digital marketing, they will be able to utilize the data from the campaigns that they have conducted to really understand the target market that they should focus on to drive their business performance better and so on. And we can see that in Malaysia itself, social media is really like growing, right? And the number of viewers is very huge. Like for example, like 24 million Malaysians are active Facebook users, and then like 4 million on TikTok and so on. So SMEs should leverage on this so that they will be able to market their product to the larger scale of the population and get more conversion.
I like the point where you said that, you know, leverage on it, but do it right. And that's why, you know, this digital marketing solutions is there for people who lack sort of, you know, awareness on how to do it right. But how do we actually find the right target audience for the digital marketing campaign at Unifi Business?
I think the right target audience is very important because in terms of the target audience itself, we need to understand, for example, if let's say we have a tudung seller, she may think that the target audience would be the younger generation, but for all you know, the design of a scarf or tudung may be more appealing to the slightly older generation, for example. So setting a target audience is very important, and that's why we have Ash here, right? Where there's a persona targeting and so on. So to be able to understand the lookalike personas for the respective products that they have. And our digital solution together with Rev Media, right? It's combined with AI facilities that will be able to understand the lookalike persona more accurately, so that when we blast out the digital marketing campaigns, it can be targeted to a very focused group for their respective products.
So when you talk about, you know, this AI and recognizing target audiences, there is also something that exists within social media, as you mentioned. You know, it's a growing platform, and many businesses are leveraging on it already. But there's already AI, you know, going into our ads. So why choose Unifi Business for this?
All right, okay. So Unifi Business, we have our specialty. We have in 4 areas. The first one is we do it for you, because digital marketing, it's not, because some people say that, hey, I have done digital marketing, it's very easy, right? But the truth is it's not, because you need to have the right vision for it. You need to know the strategy, and you need to be able to understand the right target market. You need to do copywriting, and then it's to do the graphic design, the visual design, and so on. And different types of social media platforms have different requirements, right? So that's where we come in to help the SMEs out there to do it for them. And we have certified digital marketing practitioners who would be able to discuss together with them based on their vision and marketing objective, how we can tailor-make the digital marketing campaign to drive better performance. So that's one. And then the second one would be in terms of the payment flexibility, because digital marketing campaign can be very expensive. But what we do is, because when we talk to the SMEs, they would like to have a more cash flow friendly solution. So that's where we have monthly subscription from as low as 50 ringgit, so that they can run their campaign as and when they need, but they do not have to pay upfront in a large amount. And the third one is, as I've mentioned just now, we have certified professionals. So the certified professionals will be there to help them at every step of the way, so that they don't have to think a lot. They just have to, you know, share their strategy, share their objectives, and we're there for them to help them. And we produce reports and discuss with them how they can move forward to drive their business growth.
With the 1 minute that we have, perhaps you can share what are some success stories from the Unifi Business customers that you have worked with previously?
All right, okay. So maybe one of it is we have a customer from Mega Lazis Patin. Mr. Sharudin, he's the owner of Mega Lazis Patin in Pahang. When the pandemic hit, he was badly affected We did not only help to revive his business with digital marketing. So through the digital marketing campaign that we run together with him, his sales performance improved by 91%. So that's something that that's really amazing, because you know, that's above the average sales performance of digital
That's
marketing.
a lot. 91% is a lot.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you so much, both of you, for sharing your insights and for sharing all of the knowledge that you have. Now, I am definitely interested in you know, digital marketing solutions, because you know, as you mentioned just now, it's actually not as easy as you think, even for tech savvy younger generations who have been on social media for a very long time. But that's all the time that we have now on Awani Review. Thank you once again, and we'll see you again soon.